Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. How are you today? Hope you're all doing well. Hello, good afternoon. How are you? It's been a minute. I've not come live for some time now. How are you today? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. On today's video, hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you today? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having a fabulous weekend. How are you today? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you today? Nice cup of tea. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. How are you today? Good afternoon. How are you today? And where are you watching from? How are you today? Good afternoon. If this is your first time seeing this face, I'm Cecilia. How are you today? Good afternoon. On today's video, we are going to be talking about something very interesting. How are you today? Let us know where you're watching from, please. Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. How are you today? On today's episode, we are going to be talking on why men leave their wives after several years together. You get married, and after several years, men just disappear. Some of them just go away. Some of them just pack their things and abscond. Some of them just leave. Why is it so? Why do men just leave their wives after several years in marriage? Why does this happen? And it keeps happening. It's still happening. Why is it so? So that is why we are here today, and that is what we are going to be discussing today. How are you today? Let us know where you're watching from, please. If this is your first time seeing this face, I'm Cecilia. I'm broadcasting live from London today. Let us know where you're watching from, please, on the comment section. Let us know where you're watching from. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Where are you watching from? So today we are going to be talking about why men leave their wives after several years of marriage. They stay together and they just leave. Why is it so? Please, let's talk. It's not a monologue. Let's chat. I've got some I've got a few points to share with you, but I'll be happy if you can just let me know what you think. If you have got thoughts about this, if you know what's happening, let us know on the comment section below so we can all learn from each other. The first reason I discussed with some men, obviously, and the first reason why men leave their wives after several years together is because of nagging. Nagging. If you are a nagging wife, please, you have to change. If you want your husband to stay with you, if you want your marriage to last, please stop nagging. I know that sometimes when we get married and we start having kids and kids just start running around, things change. Once you get married and you start having kids, things change. Everything changes. And sometimes it's not easy on us women. It's not easy with the kids, school run, you have to clean the house, you have a lot on your plate, and sometimes you just keep shouting and nagging. Please, if you can, as a woman, sit back, look at what you're doing that is not right, especially when it comes to nagging, because if you keep nagging, your husband will leave. Men, if there's one thing men love, is peace. Peace. Men do love peace. Men love to live in a peaceful environment, especially when a man comes back from work and the woman is shouting, whether you're shouting at the kids or you're shouting because the man did not do something that he had to do before going to work. Please, 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 as a woman, if you want to keep your marriage, if you want to stay together with your husband for a long time, you have to think about this. Please do not nag. Stop nagging. Most women do it. Sometimes you do it without knowing, because things happen, with kids. Sometimes um you cannot control yourself, and you nag. So that is one of the reasons why marriages do not last and why men run away. Some men will just disappear. I've seen it several times where men will just stay with their wives and then they will just disappear. They'll just go away. They'll just pack their things and go away. Nagging is one of the reasons why men run away, because men do love peace. Ask any man around you, they would tell you that this is something that most men do not play with, their peace. Please. So if you are married, make sure your environment is peaceful. Try as much as possible. Try as much as possible to keep your environment peaceful. Please stop nagging. Don't nag. It's not a good thing. I know it's not easy on us. I repeat, it's not easy on women, especially when kids start coming in. When you start having children, 1, 2, 3, it's not easy for you to stay in one piece anymore. You sometimes you shout a lot without even knowing. So please, if you want to keep your home together, if you want to stay together with your husband for a long time, please do not nag as a woman. Try not to nag, okay? Please. If this is your first time seeing me, I'm Cecilia. Please do make sure, please kindly like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I'll be coming live. I'll be coming live a lot. I haven't got a particular time yet, but I'll be coming live a lot, and we are going to be talking about different topics, especially when it comes to relationships. And we are going to be doing a bit of comedy here as well. And we are going to be chatting a lot, please. And let's see, Zachary. Yeah, nagging, it's true. A man is like Holy Spirit. He will stay in a place where there is peace. Yes, Zachary. You're very right. This is very true. Men do not like nagging wives. Men, I've seen it several times when men will just leave because their partners nag. As a girlfriend, if you nag, your boyfriend would leave you. They don't stay. Men do love a peaceful space, a peaceful environment. So as a woman, if you have a boyfriend and if you love him and you want him to stay, please don't nag. That is something that men really don't like. Please, that is if you want to stay in the relationship, which I know we all want to. If you're dating, you want to stay in your relationship, please avoid nagging. That if you can communicate with your man without nagging, you can communicate with your children without shouting. I know it's not easy on us, especially us women, but if you can, try not to nag. Teach yourself, learn again, teach yourself how to sometimes because you're in it, you have kids, it's difficult, you're running around, it's not easy on women. Trust me, it's not easy at all, especially with kids. But if you can, please don't nag. Please, please, please. Nagging, no. It just destroys the whole environment. It damages the space. It makes you restless as a man, even as a woman now. Seriously, I cannot stand an environment where anyone is just nagging and complaining. If you understand what I mean, I can't. I'm not saying that I've not nagged once. I have. Obviously, we've done it. We all have done it, the nagging bit. But sometimes you have to step back and ask yourself questions. What am I doing right? What am I not doing right? How can I change myself? We have to ask ourselves these questions every now and again. It's important. Whether you're single, you're married, you're dating, what are you doing right? What are you not doing right? How can you get better? How can you improve on yourself? We have to ask ourselves these questions every now and again. To get better, you have to you have to step back once in a while and ask yourself these questions. So please try as much as possible. If you're a nagging girlfriend, please stop it. Try and work on yourself. It's very important that you work on yourself, you know, because sometimes when things are not going right, you look at the other person. You're like, they are not doing this right. They are the problem. But we do not look at ourselves, which is very important, you know, in this day and age. If there's anything going on not right around you, the first person you should be questioning is yourself. What am I not doing right? You know, how can I get things better? You have to question yourself. You have to ask yourself questions. Otherwise, you are not going to learn. You're not going to move forward. So it's very important, you know. So nagging, we've talked about nagging. Please, if you want your marriage to last, if you want your husband to stay, stop nagging. Work on yourself. You can do it. We all can do it. Especially if you can recognize the problem. You can work on it and you can fix it. The second thing is women. Now, today we are talking about women. Why men leave. So it's us. We are talking about women. The second reason is that when women get married, and we start having kids, we stop taking care of ourselves. We stop taking care of ourselves. We just don't do our hair anymore. We don't do makeup. We don't wear shoes anymore. We wear flats all the time. I'm not here to blame any woman. I know how it feels. I know it's not easy on us, especially when we start having kids. It's not easy because you have to take care of the kids. You have to run around, school runs. You have to do a lot. It's not easy. But we have to try and make sure because we are looking, we forget about ourselves a lot as women. We forget about ourselves. Please try and make time for yourself. You're doing it for you first. It's you first. I have seen cases where women have taken their kids to school in their pajamas, in their nighties. You know, what do you think about this? I know it's not easy. I know sometimes as women, we have to leave from night shift, go get run home, get the kids ready, and take them to school. But should we be taking our kids to school in our nighties, please? You know, so sometimes we have to create that 5-10 minutes to get yourself ready. And if you're married, you're living with your husband, you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of you for you first. You're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for your man. You have to do it for yourself first. And then remember that men are always attracted by what they see. He's your husband, yes, but then you have to look good. Because if you don't look good, he might leave. I'm not saying it's a good thing. It's not, because he has to. It's for better, for worse. I understand. It's for better, for worse. But if you just leave yourself, you don't do your hair, you don't take care of yourself, the man might leave. So what I'm here to say is, I'm just here to say that if you are married, please still take care of yourself. It's you you're taking care of. You're taking care of you. Do you understand what I mean? You're taking care of you. So still take care of yourself. You know, take care of yourself, especially if you want the man to stay. You know, take care of yourself, because otherwise he would leave. If you don't take care of yourself, if you just let yourself go, you don't do your hair, no makeup, you keep wearing saggy old clothes at home, you don't look kempt at home, seriously, the man might just think, oh my goodness, I cannot carry on like this. Some men will tell you, because I remember a case where that was at work. The guy actually told his wife that, please, what is happening? You know, you have to. And as a man, if you're watching this video as a man, do tell your wife. You know, if you're married and you know your wife is not taking care of themselves, they've just let everything go. You know, tell them. You know, tell them in a nice way. That is why communication is very important when it comes to relationships. You have to communicate these things. If you're with your woman and you see that she's not taking care of herself anymore, she doesn't do her hair, she doesn't do no makeup, she puts on one clothes for 1 week, you have to tell her you love her, she's your wife. Tell her, just prompt her that, oh, baby, what is going on? You have not changed your clothes. you don't take care of yourself, don't leave it too long. Don't leave it until when it's too late. Just tell her from the start. When you start noticing this as a man, please tell your woman. If you can't take her shopping, take her shopping as a man. But I'll recommend you tell her, she's your wife. Tell her that, oh, what is happening? Why are you not taking care of yourself? Why are you letting yourself go? What is happening? Is there any way I can help you? Just communicate. Communication is key in every relationship. When it comes to marriages, or when it comes to you living with your partner or staying with your husband and wife, you have to communicate if you want things to work. It's very important that you communicate. The next thing is sex, intimacy in relationships. If you don't have intimate times with your husband, he's going to leave. He's going to leave because intimacy, it's important. It's like the main thing in the relationship. That is why I would always say the most important thing is peace in the house, because when there's no peace in the house, it's very difficult for you to get to that point where you want to get intimate with your partner, especially when your wife is nagging and the space itself, as in the house, is not peaceful. There's no peace. You might end up staying apart from each other, away from each other, gradually drifting away from each other. And then there will be lack of intimacy in the relationship, as in you will not be having, good intimate times together. Sex, I'm talking about. So you have to, you have to, don't just think that, oh, I must, things must go this way. We have to work. When you're in a relationship, remember that you have to work on it. You have to work for things to work. You have to keep improving yourself as a woman, the man as well. For things to work, you have to be on the same boat. You have to work on it. It's like everything. If you don't work on your relationship, it's gonna fail. It's like everything. You don't just get married and you think, oh, now we are married, things are going to work. It doesn't work that way. You have to keep working on it on a daily basis. On a daily basis. That is why the first thing in every relationship should be communication. You have to communicate with your partner from the start of the relationship. When anything is not going the way you think it should be going, you have to sit your partner down and talk to them nicely. Baby, this is not going on well. I don't think, baby, I think, you've just let yourself go. What is happening? Are you okay? Is there any way I can help? It's always very important to communicate with your partner from the start of the relationship. It's so important. There's nothing more important than communication, because if you don't talk, how will your partner know what is happening with you? If you find out that there's something not right with your partner and you don't communicate it with them, how do they know? You have to communicate. It's important in every relationship. So sex is important. However, in order for you to have that intimate, nice time together, there must be peace at home. You must take care of yourself. Both ways, is the man and the woman. But today we are talking about women. And we are talking about why men leave their wives that they've been with for several years. And the first reason is nagging. The second one is sex. And sometimes as women, when we start having children, we get just very busy with the kids. We are busy with the kids and we forget about the other thing. And when it comes to sex, we keep procrastinating. Oh, we'll do next time, let's leave it, the kids over the weekend. You keep pushing it. You keep procrastinating sex, having intimate times with your partner. You keep pushing it forward because sometimes you're tired. Do you want to blame a woman for saying that, oh no, I'm tired? No, she's tired. However, I'd say that as a woman, please try and create time for this. When it has to happen, let it happen. Sometimes you just have to tell the kids to stay away. Sometimes you have to leave the kids with friends and you can go away with your husband for 2 days over the weekend. It does help. You might think, oh no, yeah, he's your husband. You cannot just You know, stop having intimate times with your husband. You can't stop going out for dinner with your husband because of the kids. Then there's no relationship between you two, if you understand what I mean. So sometimes it's very important that you leave your kids with friends, family, if you've got good family, if you've got your parents around, if you've got good friends, you can leave the kids and go have a nice weekend away with your husband. You don't even have to go out of town. You know, you don't have to go out of town. Sometimes it's just for the evening, one day, you know. It's important, you know. So you can do that. We all can do that. So there's a relationship. You have to keep that relationship going. Otherwise, it's whatever you don't work on, it will die. If you don't keep working on your relationship gradually, it will die. You have to keep working on it. You have to keep feeding it, giving it water. It's a relationship. You have to feed it. You might think we are together, it's for life or better for worse. No, it's not like that. You have to keep working on your relationship on a daily basis. Things are changing. You remember before, we used to have landline. It's like that. We used to have landline. Now we don't have landlines anymore. We don't have, yeah, the first mobile phones were these big. Things are changing. Everything is changing, you know. That is how things change as well. In relationships, things do change. Now you can do FaceTime. Before, we never used to do FaceTime, you know. So please remember, you have to keep working on your relationship on a daily basis if you want the relationship to last. Otherwise, it's see, otherwise the relationship is gonna be dead in no time. So please do work on your relationship on a daily basis. And as I said, and I'll say again, communication is key when it comes to relationships, you know. So please, ladies, please, sex is important, not just for the man, for you as well. For you as well. After sex, you sleep, you just relax, you know, it reduces stress. You just have to. It's good for you. I know you're running around with the kids, you're busy, you're stressed out. You need sex as well. As a woman, it's not for men, it's for all of us. We all need it. Please. So as a woman, you do need it as well. The next thing that would make a man to leave is if you are a controlling woman. If you want to control everything, it's either your way or the highway, the man will leave. You know, I know sometimes you want things your way because you've worked it out. Sometimes let the man also have a say. Let the man have the last say. Let's say you're talking about buying, let's say you want to buy a house, for example, and then you want the house in another city, and the man wants the house in another city, and then you have to, you know, come to a compromise. You know, sometimes as a woman, I'm not saying that your choice, you know, is not the best, but sometimes you have to go, okay, this time let's go for what you want, you know, especially if it's not going to harm anyone, if you're not going to lose money as a family, if it's not going to harm anyone. Sometimes you just go, you know what, okay then, if you've thought through this, if you've worked it out, okay, let's go with your choice, you know. Sometimes it's not just always you. Don't be too controlling as a woman. If you're like that, your husband might run away after several years. He might just go, oh my goodness, I'm not having any peace in this relationship, let me just go and have some good time away. I might find a woman who would give me peace, you know. So don't be too controlling, because your man can run away after several years. You might come home one day, this has happened. You might come home one day and there's no man, and you're like, where is he? He's gone. It's happening a lot, you know. So please, that's another thing. Another thing is, as a woman, don't compare your man with another man. Don't compare. We as a woman, please try to appreciate your man. Appreciation. Appreciate your man. Don't start comparing him with other men. Oh, you don't buy me this. The last time you got me a perfume, it was too small. No. Appreciate your man. Whatever he gives you, if that is what he can afford, appreciate it. You know. And the worst thing you would do to a man's ego is to compare him with other men. You know, when you start comparing your man with other men, oh, Christy's husband got her a new car, I've been with you for 20 years. You haven't bought me a new car. The last car I have was the one I got in 1980. No. Don't compare your man with other men. Don't compare them with their brothers. Don't compare him with his brothers. Don't compare him with his friends. He's your man. He's different. He's the way he is. He gives you what he can. And please appreciate it. When you do not appreciate what your man gives you, he will leave. He will leave. He will leave for a woman who appreciates him. Just imagine that your man buys you perfume. I know it's not that big, but it's something, and you don't appreciate it. And then there's this lady at work who's always like, oh my goodness, you look good, and things like that. And then, he's at work, he's been appreciated just for saying hello to someone. And then he comes home, gets you perfume, gets you nice things. You don't appreciate because they're not big enough according to you. So sometimes we just have to appreciate our men for the little they can offer us. If not, they would run. They would after some time they might just go, oh, she doesn't appreciate me, she keeps comparing me with other men. And men really hate that. Men hate when you compare them with other men, whether it's their brothers, colleagues, friends. Men do not like you comparing them with other men. They really hate it. They'll be like, oh my goodness, this woman. They would not like, they would not, they would run. If you compare your man with other men, he might end up leaving the relationship because he would think that he's not good enough for you, and he will leave. So please don't compare your man with other men. If you do that, the man will leave. And sometimes as well, if you don't create that relationship with the man after marriage, you get married to the man, you start having kids, and it's all about the kids. You don't have any relationship, you don't go out anymore, you stop having intimate times, you don't go out, you only have activities around the kids. You're taking the kids for tennis, you're taking the kids for football, piano, there's no time. You guys don't go for dinner anymore and things like that. The man might end up leaving you. He might end up going away because he's thinking, I don't have any intimate time with this woman, we don't have any time together, so I'll just leave because there's nothing else for me in this relationship. And especially when the kids leave as well. If you're with your husband and you don't have that time together, you don't go out, you don't spend time together, you don't go for dinner, you don't do anything together, you just work around the kids. You take the kids to school, you take the kids for piano, for football and things like that. When the kids leave, when the kids are 18 years old, and when they leave, when they leave for uni, your husband might leave as well because there's no relationship. You guys did not build any relationship when the kids were there. You only worked around the kids, you did activities around the kids, you never had any time together. So if you do that, your man will just leave because there's nothing anymore. The kids are gone now, you're just there with the man. You don't even have things to talk about because the kids are not there. It's either you're talking about the kids or that is nothing else to talk about, and you guys cannot go out. That is, the relationship is over. So in that case, most of the time when it happens like that, most men will just go. They will just leave because they want something more exciting. So it's very important that when you are with your husband at home with the kids, you create that bond. You do things, other things apart from looking after the kids. You live together, you go out together, you have date nights with your husband. You have to still be a couple. You have to still keep working on your relationship whilst taking care of the kids, because if you concentrate on the kids and you forget about both of you having that relationship, having that good time together, having that you time, you and your husband, when the kids are not there anymore, when they go to school and when they go to university, when they start working, your husband might just think, okay, this relationship is not exciting for me anymore, so I'm just going to leave. So I think that is about it for today. Hello guys, how are you doing today? So today we've been talking about reasons why men leave their wives after several years together. So we talked about nagging. We talked about not enough intimacy, as in sex. We talked about the ladies, when you stop caring for yourself, your husband would leave. We talked about lack of appreciation. Um, we talked about peace as well, because if your man doesn't have peace, most of the time when men don't have peace, they would leave. Men really love peace. So if they don't have peace at home, they would rather leave and go somewhere else where they would have peace. So I think that is all we talked about today. Thanks very much for sharing your time with me today. Have a lovely weekend. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And this is my book. It's on Amazon, 7 Lessons from My Father. If you haven't bought it yet, it's $9.99. That is it, 7 Lessons from My Father. That's my book. It's out now. It's been out for a week. So that is it. It talks about love, why you should love yourself. So it talks about love, why you should love yourself. There are questions you have to ask yourself. How do I treat myself? How do I speak to myself? How do I let people treat me? How do I let people speak to me? You have to love yourself unapologetically. You have to love yourself unconditionally. And when you do that, you are going to attract love. So that's the first chapter. It talks about love and it talks about identity, knowing who you are. It's very important. So the first chapter talks about love, so you can find yourself. If you haven't asked yourself these questions to know if you really love yourself, because it's important, you know, that you love yourself and you teach people how to treat you. If you love yourself and you show yourself enough love, people around you will see it. People have eyes, they will see and they will know how to treat you. So you have to teach people how to treat you by treating yourself with so much love, and respect. It's all here. So love and identity, you have to know who you are. It's very important, because if you don't know who you are going to keep following people. You're going to be follow left. People are going right. You don't have any direction, because you don't have an identity. It's important. The second one is you have to be your own rescue. It's important to know that sometimes no one will come and help you, no one will come and rescue you. So you have to stand up every time you fall and keep on going. Remember, sometimes you would have people who would come to your rescue, but it gets to a point in life whereby you should know that when you fall, you have to stand up. I know it's difficult to stand up when you fall, but when you keep doing it, you would get to that point whereby when you fall, you get up, dust yourself, and keep on moving, because you know that no one is coming to rescue you. And the third point is failure. Remember that when you fail at something, you are not a failure. So failing at something does not make you a failure. Never see yourself as a failure. You are not, and you will never be. You're not a failure. You fail at something. It's the first attempt in learning. You learn and then you carry on going. You're going to learn about self-confidence, so you can build your self-confidence. Remember that you can build your self-confidence. It's like a muscle. You can build it. So this book talks about how you can build your self-confidence and rebuild it over and over. It talks about that, and it talks about you taking action. There's no need um doing all these things. No, you have to take action. You have to think, oh my goodness, I need self-confidence. My self-confidence is down. What do I do? I need to take action to build it. It's like a muscle. You can build it. So remember that you have to take action. And it talks about education. You can learn from anyone and everyone. It doesn't mean that if someone has not got a degree or a PhD, you cannot learn from them. You can learn from anyone, and education is important. We are always learning. You can learn on on YouTube, anywhere, you know, but you have to choose and pick what you learn, what you take in, you know, don't just take in anything. So it's very, very important. So that is it. It's all here, 7 lessons from my father. It's available on Amazon. It's £9.99, and the e-copy is, I think the e-copy is still 99p for 2 weeks now. It's been 99p, the e-copy, because I want a lot of people to read the book. It's a very small book. It's small but mighty. See, it's not a big book, it's very small. Small but mighty. Go get yourself a copy and you will not regret it. It's valuable. 7 lessons from my father. So the 7 lessons, I've wrapped them nicely in 7 stories. So you have 7 lessons, 7 stories that you're going to learn from this book. It's very important. And if you've got a child 12 years, you can buy it for them to read it, because it also talks about how it's very important for parents to pass on knowledge and wisdom to their kids, over to their offsprings. You have to pass down knowledge. You have to. Don't wait, don't think they're too young to learn. You just have to keep passing on knowledge, because if you read this book, you would know why it's so important to pass on knowledge. Pass on knowledge. Pass it on to your kids. It's so important, because I lost my dad when I was still in primary school. I think I was in class year 5 when I lost my dad, very young, but he passed on a lot of knowledge. He passed on a lot. And today in this book, I've shared how the knowledge my dad passed on to me have impacted my life. It's like, seriously, I don't fall and stay there for long. I fall. Yes, 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 yes. Of course, in life you get knocked down several times, but you have to get up and keep going. All the time, I'll get up and keep going. And if you read this book, you will surely get up every time you fall. You will rebuild your confidence. You will love yourself so much. So please go get yourself a copy. Thanks very much for sharing your time with me today. I really do appreciate. Thank you for sharing your time with me today. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Please do like, share, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. I'll be coming here a lot. I also do stand-up comedy. I'm a stand-up comedian, still honing my craft, you know. So sometimes I'll be coming here to share my work before I take it on stage, you know. When I do my 7 minutes, I'll come here and share with you before I take it on stage. So that is about it for today. Have a fabulous weekend, and thanks very much. I'm Cecilia. Thank you, and bye-bye for now. Bye. Have a fab weekend. Enjoy yourself. Go get yourself a glass of wine. Get yourself a bottle of beer. Whatever makes you happy, go and do it. Take care, and bye-bye for now. Bye. Bye-bye.